want to approach your next project or challenge with full confidence in yourself and your abilities, rather than being dwarfed by your problems? Or do you want to walk into a room with your head held high, welcoming the engagement and the gazes from others, rather than trying to blend into the background? Or do you want to know your true value so that other people's criticisms will not affect the way you feel about you? If yes, then watch this video, because today you're going to learn about true self-confidence. And the good news is that it doesn't matter, how little self-confidence you have. Even those of you with the lowest of self-confidence can truly become confident. Why? Because confidence is simply a habit. It's the habit of how you talk to yourself. It's the habit of how you carry yourself. And it's the habit of becoming self-aware. These are all learnable, and I'm going to be talking about them in today's video. Hi, I'm Tatiana James, and I'm making this video for you because I know what it feels like to not have confidence. I, many years ago, had very low self-esteem, and I honestly didn't even know it until I truly became confident in who I am as a person. And in hindsight, I could see how little I thought of myself. And it's kind of heartbreaking to see that. And so I know what it feels like, and what I want to share with you is coming from my experience over the years of trying to become confident by achieving things, by looking a certain way, all the things that I thought would make me confident. But that was a false sense of confidence. And what I'm coming to you and going to be sharing with you today is true confidence, unshakable confidence, because it comes from within. You see, I want to distinguish the difference between ego confidence and a confidence that comes from knowing your higher self. Ego confidence is what most people are going to be talking about on YouTube and elsewhere, but it's not what you want. Ego confidence is like the jackass who's confident at the expense of others. While ego confidence might look like true confidence, deep down those people are actually very insecure. Why? Because their confidence depends on the external, things that they don't have control of. So, for example, if you're confident because of the way you look, or if you're confident because of all your material possessions, or because of your status, or because of the way you make people laugh. Well, the thing is that you're going to be in a very fragile and insecure situation, because the moment that those things cease to exist, the moment that you stop looking beautiful, the moment that you no longer have these fancy things, the moment that you're no longer capable of making someone laugh, you're going to lose that confidence and your self-worth and your sense of identity. So we're not after that kind of confidence. The confidence I'm talking about is an unshakable confidence of knowing your true value as a human being, and that's enough. Whenever you put your confidence, your fulfillment, your happiness in anything external, meaning anything outside of yourself, you will never feel secure, because you don't have control over the external. We have perceived control, we can try and control things, but at the end of the day, the external is out of our hands. And so you want to put your confidence, your fulfillment, your happiness in the internal, and learn how to bring that out from within you, because at the end of the day, that's where it comes from. Okay, you don't go and find confidence, you don't go and find happiness outside of yourself. It all comes from within here. But what happens is we only give ourselves permission to feel happy when something external happens. We only give ourselves permission to feel confident when we achieve this. Right? That's not the way to think of it. Reverse that. Now, sometimes people do have to go through a stage of building ego confidence in order for them to recognize that, that's a false sense of confidence, and to recognize their higher self. Okay, so sometimes that's part of the process, and maybe you will go through that, but maybe by watching this video, you can bypass that and get to the good stuff. So the first thing you need to understand is the root of low self-confidence. We always want to get to the root of the problem so that we can address the issue rather than just putting band-aids on it, okay? And the root of low self-confidence is not valuing yourself, who you are, okay? So my question to you is, do you see the value that you offer the world? Now, contrary to what society tells us, And the reason it tells us this is because big corporations, they make money off of pointing out all of our insufficiencies, and then we become insecure, and then they provide solutions to those insecurities. So this is how, money is made. But the truth is that you don't need to follow this programming. This has been programming that's been programmed into us, but we are the software, not the program. And so you can become aware of the programming and understand that you don't need to earn more money. You don't need to look more beautiful. You don't need to lose weight. You don't need to gain weight. You don't need to volunteer more or change the world or raise a beautiful family or build a really successful career or XYZ, you name it. You don't need to do those things in order to understand that you are of value in the world, because there's something called intrinsic value, and intrinsic value is understood at a high spiritual level. Spiritually, intrinsic value is recognized. It means that the person behind bars, the homeless person, the drug addict, everyone, including them, including the outcasts of society, they all have intrinsic value. And intrinsic value is not something that can be earned. So you don't have to do things to earn your value. It's value that comes with being a human being. And sometimes people don't want to recognize their value because they want to continuously punish themselves from mistakes made in the past. But I want to tell you that you're allowed to make mistakes. What matters is your intention. We all are perfectly imperfect human beings. Therefore, we all make mistakes in life, and some mistakes are made to be learned from. And what matters most is your intention. So don't bring those mistakes in the past into your future. Don't drag them with you. Okay, the past does not equal the future. Things can be different for you. Forgive yourself, let go of the burdens of the past, and understand that it's okay that we made mistakes in life as long as we have pure intentions. So carry that with you. Your intention is what matters most. Self-awareness is a quality that will serve you a millionfold. And what self-awareness means is bringing awareness to the mind, Now, what is going on in the mind? There's a whole lot of stuff going on in the mind, and most of us, we don't even realize it. We identify with our thoughts, we think that we are our thoughts, we attach to our thoughts, and we live in a state of reaction because of those thoughts. But when you bring awareness, you start to dissociate from those thoughts. There's a part of you that is able to watch those thoughts. And when you can watch those thoughts, first of all, that means that you can dissociate from them because now there's a third party that's watching them. And when you watch those thoughts, you start to become aware. And what do you become aware of? Well, you become aware of how when that person made that comment, I felt triggered. When that person made that criticism, I resorted to these limiting beliefs. You start to become aware of what is going on in the mind. Now, the key is that you're not judging it. You don't make it wrong. You just notice it. That is where the value is just noticing it. And so what you do then is you now remind yourself, whenever someone makes a criticism of you, you always remind yourself, I refuse to give my power to others. I refuse to give my power to others, because when you do this, then that way when people make comments about you, it doesn't affect you because you're not allowing yourself to give them power. It's only when you give them that power that it can now affect you. Do you understand this? You have to first give them the power. But if you don't give them the power, it won't affect you. I've learned this by being an influencer on YouTube. 99% of the comments are positive, but there's always that percentage that is really negative. And at first it would affect me. I would say, I'm not that person. How could they say that about me? That's so mean. Oh. But I realized that really has nothing to do with me. What they're saying, most of what people say has to do with them and less to do with me, first of all. And also, I just don't allow it. It bounces off because I'm not giving that person power. So make sure that you refuse to let the opinions of others determine how you feel, because when you give people that power, if there's 1,000 people in the room, you're going to have 1,000 different opinions about you. You have to understand, you will never get everyone to like you. and that's not your goal. Now, in order for you to start to gain momentum with building that self-confidence, I want you to set some small goals for yourself. What I want you to do is build a track record of success. So by small goals, I mean, if today you say, the goal for today is to clean the house, then guess what? Today, you're going to clean the house. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, not a week and a half from now, today. Why? Because the goal you set was for today. Today, I'm going to clean the house. And what is important here is not the goal. I don't care what the goal is. I don't care how big or small it is. What's important is that you become a person of your word, that you start to build trust with yourself, that you know when you say you're going to do something, you better darn do it. And so this is how you build your own personal track record. Because you start to set these small goals for yourself, small attainable goals every day, and you now can look back and you say, wow, yeah, boy, I really am a person of my word. You know, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Yeah, I have created success. That's success. And that carries with you. That's how you build confidence in your abilities. So then the next time you're approached with a challenge or with a project, instead of resorting to, oh boy, I don't know if I can do this. It's going to be very stressful. I don't know if I'm going to have the ability. No. You look at your track record of success and you say, no, I'm a person of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I know that it's not a matter of ability. It's a matter of will. At least that's what I say for myself. You know, I have so much confidence in my abilities now. Partly because of, you know, what I'm sharing with you today, partly because of the track record I've been building for myself over the years. But I know that if there's anything I want to do, whether it's to build a business of any kind, whether it's to take up some form of art, whether it's to learn a sport, I know that anything I set my mind to, I can become a success at. And I know it's just a matter of will. It's never a matter of ability. There's a part of you that knows that you have within you something called potential. Potential. It's kind of harvested within you, and you know that it's there ready for you to tap into. You just have to choose to tap into it. And there's a part of you that really wants that. You want to see your highest expression of yourself. You want to see what you look like at your full potential. And it's a beautiful thing to see that. It's like we all have this desire. It's part of the reason why we go and we pay thousands of dollars to watch sports. We go to watch these basketball players and we see them in all their glory because we are paying and we are recognizing that this is peak potential, that this is what human beings are capable of. And a part of you unconsciously knows that if they can achieve something like this, well, boy, I'm 99.9% biologically identical. You know, there's a whole lot more that I'm capable of achieving if I set my mind to it. And it really is about setting your mind to it, guys. The mind is something you got to master. I'll give you an example. Roger Bannister was the first man to run 1 mile in 4 minutes. Prior to him, nobody ever did it before. They said it was impossible for humans to do, right? This is an example of the impossible turning possible. Well, Roger Bannister refused to accept that. And so he, in his mind, imagined himself finishing that mile in 4 minutes. And eventually, with training, he was able to achieve that. He ran the mile in 4 minutes. Not even a month later, the next guy did it. And since then, hundreds of people have ran a mile in 4 minutes. So what Roger Bannister did for humanity is he showed people that it was possible. And he did so by first changing his mind. He did not see it as an impossible feat. If he saw it as impossible, he would have never ran it. He saw it as possible. So it started here. He achieved it. And now because he achieved it, the other people who were athletes were saying, okay, if he can do it, I can do it too. Because he's a human, I'm a human, you know, can't be that hard. So this is the power of the mind. And this is also an example of how you can use references in your life to really help you. There's nothing that you cannot do if you don't set your mind to. I mean, we're not talking about flying here. You're not going to fly and jump off a building. That's not what we're talking about. But what I am talking about is that if there's something in your life that you want to change, you can change it. Okay, I'm married to the master of transformation, Stefan. Like, he has transformed his life. He used to be a really shy kid, gaming on his computer all the time. He said, you know what? I gotta change. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like the way I am. I gotta make some changes in my life. And so when you have the desire to do something, it's only a matter of will, and so you can create those changes. That leads me to the next one, is I want to talk about taking care of your appearance. Why? Because part of it is also seeing ourselves at our fullest expression. I want you to wake up in the morning and I want you to groom yourself. Make sure that you take care of your hygiene, and so that you can enter the world with confidence. Confidence to welcome the next conversation, to engage with your boss, whatever it is. You know, there's a sense of confidence that comes from within when you know that you are representing yourself at your finest. Okay, so it doesn't really have to do with others. It has more to do with how you view yourself. So I, for example, take good care of myself. I don't always have to do my hair and makeup every day, but I will every day, you know, take a shower, make sure I'm clean, put some body lotions on, you know, do my whole routine. And I also consider this a self-care practice. And for those of people who think that self-care is selfish, they don't love themselves enough. Because if you won't grant yourself 10 minutes a day to take care of your hygiene, to groom yourself, to take care of your physical appearance, or to, for example, go to the gym and take care of your body, or to eat a healthy breakfast, or to do a morning ritual, whatever you consider self-care. If you don't give yourself a little bit of time each day to do that, then you don't really love yourself, because you're giving your time for all the other demands in life, but you won't even give yourself a sliver of your own time. Okay? So self-care is not selfish. It is self-love, and it's very important that you love yourself in order to recognize your intrinsic value. So I do think that making sure that you are taking care of your physical appearance will help you with your confidence. There's something about, you know, when you're wearing your nice business suit and you're walking into a meeting and you're feeling like your best, you perform better too. There's something to it. And yes, some people, you know, they will do their looks and their hair and their makeup because it comes from a place of low self-esteem, but that's not everyone. Okay, there's people like myself who I used to groom myself through low self-esteem, thinking that I needed to wear makeup all the time, look a certain way in order to be loved. But I've grown out of that, and I see now, for me, it's just, how do I want to look for myself? For me, it's a kind of a way that I live my life. I want to put my best foot forward at all times. And so if there's something that I can prove, then I'll do it, no problem. And I take care of my body because I also see it as the vessel that is helping me to lead a life of fulfillment, lead the life that I want to live. Now, what leaves more of an impact when you walk into a room than your physical appearance is your energy. Your energy, it's very important. I was in Italy a month ago, and I will not forget. I was sitting having gelato with my family, and on the table next to us there was another group of people. And there was this one woman there, and by all like North American standards, there's nothing exquisite about her physically. You wouldn't, you know, say that she was really beautiful. I thought she was beautiful, but by North American standards, you know, like, there's nothing special. But if Miss Brazil was sitting next to her, she would have nothing on this woman. All eyes would be on this woman because this woman had a radiant energy. She was commanding the attention of everyone in the room, even of the people on the table next to her. I was sitting there just watching her like, damn, this girl is amazing. You know, she welcomes the room. She commands the conversation. She is entertaining. She's confident in herself. Most importantly, she's confident in herself, but it's the energy she's bringing. And I just thought, wow, what a beautiful sight. So your looks, don't put too much value on looks. If you think, oh, I'm never going to be the center of attention in a room because I don't have the looks, like, that's bullshit. Looks don't mean as much as you think. It's energy. So what I want you to do is I want you to walk into a room with the energy that you would assume a confident person has. okay? We're talking about open, the energy of welcoming. Yes, I want to welcome you. I would like to meet you. I'd like to have a conversation with you. You don't have to say those things, but it's the energy of that, right? It's not the energy of like, I just want to stand there with my drink and kind of huddle in the corner. Not that energy. That's not welcoming. You want the energy that invites people to you and you become like a magnet. And so in the beginning, if you have to fake it until you make it, go for it. Because what will happen is you will start to fake it. It's a little bit hard, uncomfortable at first, but you will be rewarded. It will work. Okay, this is facts here. Energy is facts. It will work. And what happens is what gets rewarded gets repeated. And so the next time you go into the room, it becomes a lot easier to do that and a lot more fun. And you start to play with it and you start to see how you can manipulate your energy and how you can really be that confident person that you want to be, even if it required you faking it until you make it. So energy is important. All right, guys, I want to summarize here for you. So to summarize, your confidence should not come from the external. When you give your power to the external, you will always feel insecure because the external is out of your control. And that should bring you a great deal of relief because that means that you don't need to achieve X, Y, Z in the external in order to become the confident person you desire. So confidence is a habit. Okay, this is why anyone can learn to become confident. Become aware of the talk in the mind. That's the most important thing. Understand your intrinsic value as a human being and that it cannot be earned. It's just the value of you being you. Set small goals that you achieve on a regular basis to build your personal track record of success. Take care of your physical appearance as, you know, it's showing yourself some respect. It's loving yourself. It's putting your best foot forward. Lead with your energy and watch how you become the magnet in the room. So if you want more videos on confidence, I want you to check out some of my other videos. How to overcome self-doubt for good, how to build confidence through goal setting, how self-love leads to success in life, and how to step up and reach your full potential. I'll link these videos in the description box below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below what your takeaway is from this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.